Hello and welcome to Everland by Jill. Thanks for joining me today. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying my videos and what I have to share with you. And if you're a new viewer, my gosh, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Take a look through my playlist, see if there's something you might enjoy watching, and I welcome you aboard. So as many of you have seen some of my videos know, I have a little working basket where I keep current projects I am working on. And I have showed you what's in there so far, but the thing that I'm working on and want to talk about today is give you a little update on my pouches that I'm working on and then just do a little stitching with you. So let's me get started. If you notice, I'm on a wooden table because I've been doing some canthus stitching and I find it easy to do on a hard surface. But let's look at the pouches first. So this is the first pouch, and I don't think you saw any of this thread painting. So I did thread paint these flowers. And this little green part here, let me be sure you can see what I'm talking about. Yep. And I also did this flower and this leaf here. I didn't want to do all the leaves and overpower it with the thread painting, but I did want to do some. Now, I was really nervous with the flower because I didn't have the right colors. If you look here, let me move that blue one so it doesn't distort or confuse you about what colors are on this pouch. If you look here, these original flowers were kind of a rusty moving to a light rust and almost a peachy color. Well, as most of you know, I don't have a lot of threads, so I intentionally went to my stash. I call it my stash, although it's not what some people would call a stash. I haven't been collecting forever, and a lot of my things are limited in quantity as well as color. So I had to use what I have. I had a nice rusty brown red, which worked out well, and I had some ones that were leaning, let me get a different pointer tool. Some that were leaning very close to a dark purplish color, maybe for these areas. But for these light areas, I was struggling. I was very much afraid I was going to ruin the flower. And I listened to some people on YouTube, Rachel from Roxy Creations. She always says, just keep going. And I had to encourage myself, just keep going, Jill, just keep going. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Just keep going. But does that look right? And what is right? Right for me isn't perfection. Right for me is whether it meets my criteria of something I want to look at, something I want to enjoy. And for the most part, these flowers are a little dark because of the colors I have chosen compared to the natural color of the fabric. Now look at this one down here before I added the lighter color. My voice is getting a little croaky or scratchy. Let me get a sip of water. Thank you. Anyway, as you can see, then this flower here I did in the same colors as I did that one, but they look very different, don't they? That's because I added a lot of light color on top. And I did not do that with this flower. But now I'm wondering if I should. But in the meantime, while I'm marinating on that, I thought, I could move forward with this project. I don't have to worry about that. I can always add that later. I don't know if you saw all of this stitching here. I did the blanket stitching and then I did the little pistol stitches off the edge there. I love that. I love, love, love. I love doing this concept of a circular blanket stitch. I love that. So on the ends, I was on the inside and we didn't have the let's see, we didn't have the, oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Okay, so our pouch is going to fold up like this. Sorry if I swirled that around too quickly for you. Let's just turn it over and look at the back. So this is the back, and this is the top of the back. Okay, so I went ahead and I attached the lining. And I cantha stitched the whole lining down, as you can see. You know, cantha stitching changes the whole feel and texture of your fabric. I'm so glad that's a little wonky and wavy. It almost, look, it almost waved in an exact pattern like I intended it to be there. Guys, between you and me, I didn't intend that to be wavy like that, but it is, and I love it, so I'm leaving it. Okay, so inside, I did get my pocket made, which I felt was important after my bird pouch didn't have one. Let me grab that bird pouch, because I think since then I have my commonplace book in here for now, because I keep taking it out to the living room. I'll just set that there. But you can see in here I've added just a lovely little pouch. I did go around the edge with black because of the pattern on it. Let me see if I could. Oh, this is more of a struggle than I thought. I love the pattern on it. It is black or a dark gray. I used a black thread. I wanted it very close to the edge, almost not showing. Didn't know if I was going to put a border on it or what it was going to look like, and I thought just go ahead. It's a pocket for inside my own pouch, and I could be happy with it. Now the good thing about this is, you notice this pocket went on after I had cantha stitched the entire inside. So it looks like this when it's open. I got to cut that little thread off. It's just bugging me. Is it bugging? There we go. Anyway, and I said my pouch needed a pocket, so I decided to put pockets in all of the new ones that I was making. Now, what I did with these, so what I did with my new pouches, I created the pockets, and then I stitched them in before I started doing the cantha stitching. So then I cantha stitched around the pocket, and that leaves the inside of the pocket rather smooth, which is fine, because you don't want anything to catch on there if you're moving it from your, you know, if you're carrying it with you in another bigger pouch or whatever. It can be like that. So then I cantha stitched all this down. So my next step is to, we're almost done, guys. We're almost done, actually, because I have to do the sides. I have to attach that all together, and then I do the top last. Okay, so that's what this pouch is going to look like when it's done. I haven't decided on a border across the top yet. And my little metal, I think I have it here somewhere. I thought I saved it out, but maybe I didn't. Oh, must not have. But I have a little metal plate I'm going to stitch, or I'm going to attach here. As long as it's not too heavy. I'll show you what I have for the other pouch. So this is the pouch I'm working on today. And I'm going to continue to do some cantha stitching. I did do, you saw this flower, you saw those eucalyptus leaves, and I don't think I did anything else. I hadn't decided what to do with this pink flower. I don't know, there's lots of options. I'm really in a quandary. I don't know what you think about it, but I don't care for that pink flower. If any of you have suggestion on what to do with that, let me know. I can still do it now, or I can do it later. There is a helicopter flying over my house, and my dogs, for some reason, they do not like these helicopters that go over. So, apologize for that. So, let's look at the inside where I put the pocket. Okay, here's my cantha stitching. It's pretty straight. It's not bad, right? But what happened to my pocket? It's not straight at all, is it? It's not straight at all. Now I did back these pockets and I did canthus stitch them before I stitched them onto the lining. And on this pouch, I did attach the lining on both sides before I do my doing my canthus stitching. But what's funny about it is it's so wonky, but you have to figure that's a, what do they call it? Oh yeah, it's not like I took artistic license. It's like I embraced the wonkiness of it. And I have to embrace it. It's so funny and it's so cute. But I will tell you, this is the back of the pouch. My pocket is on the front, but when you look in there, that's what that pocket's gonna look like. And I think it's just so darn cute. I may even put a border across here, something that stands out, so that what do I want to call it? It focuses on the fact that it's so crooked. I don't know what I was looking at. I must have been standing with one foot on a step and one foot on the floor. I don't know. But I will tell you this. Sometimes when I open my videos or start them, I'm standing up. And here comes another helicopter. Just 1 minute. So anyway, I stand up. When I stand up, I don't craft standing up in my room. I craft sitting down. So if I try to craft or do videos standing up, I'm very much uncomfortable, and my work, I don't like to call it work. My crafting doesn't turn out as much as I don't like it as much as I do if I'm sitting. So I like to sit. So that's an update on these pouches. What else have I been thinking about? I want to share with you at some point. I hope to create a video that will share with you how I came about my YouTube channel name. As you know about me, I name many things. I name them all different kinds of things. And it's funny because my husband embraces that fact about me. It makes it so much easier in conversations if I say, I have to feed the farm animals. He knows I'm talking about, we don't have farm animals. We have the 3 dogs, Mia, Evan, and Lily. We have the birds out back, which I have some of my favorites. We have the lovey-doveys. We have the cardinal, the daddy cardinal that I love. And we have frogs, and I think I've shared this before, and we have many koi fish in our pond. And my pond is, circular, and this side is small and deep. This side is larger and not as deep. And there is a shelf inside of here and a shelf inside of here. But this side is, we let primarily be covered by lily pads, and then they flower. They are just beautiful when the flowers open up. Anyway, and because it's small and I watch how the fish move and different things, they're fun to watch. Very meditative to watch them swim around. And I noticed the little ones are over here. So I call this the incubator. And I call this, I don't have a name for that yet. Maybe you can help me. Put some suggestions down in the description box. What kind of mood am I in today? Let me know what I should name this side of my pond. This is where the big fish live. Like the daddy fish and the ones that are the biggest. I haven't I have one koi that has the most beautiful flowing tail. And because that tail flows when she swims, and it's really long, it's as long as her body. So let's say her body was this long, well, her tail is that long. And I call her Angel because her fin looks like angel wings to me. So we have the incubator, we have the angel, and so on. But I don't have a name for this side of the pond. But anyway, back to my story. So if I tell my husband that, or he says, should I go out and feed the fish? And I'll say, yeah, okay, but just put a little bit in the incubator. Then he knows what I'm talking about. And he doesn't have to ask me what that means. And I don't have to say the small side of the pond every time or whatever. I just say, just incubator, and he knows. And we do that with a lot of things. So my farm animals are my dogs, my birds, my fish. In the pond we have Frog, who sits on Frog Rock. I might have mentioned that before. We have a heron that comes. We don't like him. I do let the dogs chase him away. There's a park that has a very large lake and close by. And they have herons out there. And I think he comes from out there sometimes to hunt and fish in our pond, which we don't like because we don't want him confiscating all of our fish for his feeding purposes. So I do let my dogs out. They see dogs as a predator. They won't attack the dogs or hurt the dogs, but it does chase him away until he gets tired of sitting in a tree and waiting for them to come in. So we do have him, and we call him Darth because we all know Darth Vader was the bad guy. And even though he was Luke Skywalker's dad. So we have Darth and Frog. Oh, I know the other thing we have is my dragonflies. Now I haven't named my dragonflies yet, but we have a lot, and they're so colorful and pretty. So, and I know I've told you about Dog Rock. Dog Rock is on the corner of our home where Evan likes to sit there and watch the deer and the bunnies run across the field and bark at them. So that's what he does. So you can see, let's get back to this stitching. I'm rambling on. I guess in the UK and other areas you would call it twitter or witteron. I'm wittering is what you say, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh my. And don't you wonder, I have to ask you, if you're visiting with me, don't you wonder how I can keep a fairly straight line doing all this stitching, but my pocket got so crooked? That's why it just cracks me up, makes me laugh. Makes me laugh, guys, makes me laugh. So anyhow, that's going to be my video for today. It's kind of short. I just wanted to do a little bit of stitching with you. Let me park my thread for a minute and turn this around one more time. Put it up here so you can see it. Once I get that done, I really only have to put the sides together and put the top on. So we'll be doing that next with both of these little pouches, and my gosh, they're going to be done in no time. And in the meantime, I'm going to probably think about starting my scroll that I want to put in this cover. So with that in mind, short video today, but I so enjoyed chatting with you. I hope you have a great day. Do something you love, and until the next time.